Good morning, everyone. My name is Oleksiuk. I have been coming to Ebenezer for the last few years and have become more involved in the community as time has gone on. Before I begin, I would just like to say thank you from Parker and I to all of those who showed up today and to those who are watching online. Growing up, I was educated on the Lord through my family, and we would attend Arendelle Alliance Church. I attended Sunday mornings and the VBS camps, and I enjoyed them very much. However, just because I knew about the Lord, it did not mean that I lived a life for the Lord. As I grew up, I had a burning passion for hockey and football, and that made my life fairly busy for my family. And with that being said, it just made sense for us to cut out church. Without church, it felt as though God was no longer as prevalent in my life, and the topic of religion was not brought up as often. I began to live a life as a typical child in today's society. I attended public schools and played organized sports, which in both situations, they don't mention religion often, if not at all. And so I was living a selfish life for myself and my desires. In the later grades of elementary school, I'd heard my classmates talking about going to summer camps, and they'd extended the invite to me. My parents agreed that it would be a good idea, and they sent me along. I attended Camp Kadesh for many summers following that year, and I would gain a burning love for God during the time I spent there. I accepted Jesus into my heart at a young age, but I did not think it counted. And so, I asked my cabin leader at the time to pray with me, and I accepted Jesus into my heart officially as I had thought. However, as summer ended and school resumed, I would forget about all that I had learned and would continue to live my life as I had left it. I continued to live my life claiming to be a Christian, doing things that did not glorify the Lord until I began working at Redicop. It was there at Redicop that I was surrounded by more people who followed the Lord. And day by day, God had become a topic of conversation more frequently. My good friend, Everett Olford, then invited me to come to church with his family, and I agreed to come. From that day, I was a churchgoer again. God became more prevalent in my life, and I started to surround myself with more Christians. It has now gotten to the point where I meet up with Everett Olford, Parker Thiessen, the other guy getting baptized, and Will Dimitro to talk about the Lord and dive into the Bible in a discipleship group at 5:30 in the morning on Tuesdays. My love for God, the mentors in my life, and my influential friends have changed my path. I'm now an active member of the Christian community, volunteering as a youth leader, enjoying college and career on Thursdays, and attending the early service on Sundays. The Lord has changed my life as I went from wanting to go out late every night to now seeking to be in a community of faith and giving back and serving the church throughout the week. A Bible verse that has been influential in my life is Romans 12 verse 2. It reads, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." This meant for me to be different from what society wants and pushes on people, and that by following the word of the Lord and doing as Jesus would do, my life would transform into something admirable to God and glorify Him. I found that early on in my journey, I did not feel worthy of God's love because of the things that I was doing. But a wise man once said that you do not clean yourself before you go into the shower. This stuck with me, as once you begin to follow the Lord, His love will clean you up and you will want to change for Him. Meaning, you do not need to be perfect to build a relationship with Him, and He will shape you into His image over time. This baptism is the next step for me on my journey with the Lord. I was baptized as an infant, and although it may be acceptable to some, I want to publicly display my love for God now that I am older and can make the decision for myself. I'll hopefully influence others to turn toward the Lord by doing this, and I hope to continue to influence others in a positive manner.